Hello everybody, we are in chapter 4 part 1 of San Marcos, Capítulo 4 parte 1. We're going to start with la parábola del sembrador. Now, parábola means parable, the parable of the sower, or the one planting seeds. So sembrar is to sow, sembrador is the person sowing. So here we go. And you may know this parable too, of course. It's a very famous parable, very well known. Otra vez comenzó Jesús a enseñar a la orilla del lago. Como se reunió una gran multitud, Jesús subió a una barca que había en el lago y se sentó, mientras la gente se quedaba en la orilla. Entonces se puso a enseñarles muchas cosas por medio de parábolas. So here we have again, otra vez, another time, literally. So again, Jesus began. So comenzó. He began. Okay, this is from the verb comenzar, which has a spelling change in the present tense. When you push down on this E, it splits to IE. So in the present tense, you would get comienzo, comienzas, comienza, comenzamos, comienzan, etc. But in the past tense, we are stressing this vowel here. Okay, comenzó, comenzó. So we do not have a spelling change here, okay, because it's just like comenzamos in the nosotros form. You do not have the spelling change because you're not stressing that vowel. So Jesus began a enseñar, to study, a la orilla del lago, so at the shore of the lake, or began to teach, I'm sorry, enseñar, to teach at the lake shore. And then it says, una gran multitud, a great multitude, right? So this is our subject here. The great multitude se reunió. It was gathered. It came together. So since, and como here is since a great multitude gathered, Jesús subió una barca. Jesus got up into a boat. All right, subir means to climb, to get up. So here it's used for things like to get into a boat and things like that. So he boarded a boat. Que había en el lago, that was in the lake. It was on the lake. It was already there. Que había, this is from haber, había en el lago. Y se sentó, he sat down. Mientras la gente se quedaba en la orilla, while the people stayed, right? Se quedaba en la orilla, on the shore. Entonces se puso a enseñarles, so he began to teach them many things, muchas cosas, por medio de parábolas, through parables. So here we have se puso, he began to. This is actually from the verb poner, and the preterite, as you'll remember, is irregular. It's one of those go-go verbs. So puse, pusiste, puso, pusimos, pusieron. That's our preterite. So se puso means he set himself to do something. So that you can just think of it as he began. In this case, he began to teach them. En su enseñanza les decía, en su enseñanza, in his teaching. See, this is related to the verb enseñar, to teach. Enseñanza, in his teaching, he told them. Les decía, oigan esto. It says, listen to this. Oigan. He's a commanding. All right, it's another go-go verb. The go-go becomes gaga in the command form. So, of course, he's commanding a group of people. Listen, oigan esto. So here's the story. Un sembrador salió a sembrar. A sower went out to sow seed, of course, so that makes sense. Y al sembrar, una parte de la semilla cayó en el camino, y llegaron las aves y se la comieron. So what happens here? Al sembrar, when he was sowing, a part of the seed fell on the road. Cayó is from the verb caer, C-A-E-R, caer. This means to fall. So some of the seed fell on the road. Y llegaron las aves. So llegaron is came or arrived. So we have to look for the subject of that. What came or arrived? Well, look at the next verse, or the next words. Las aves. So the birds, this is a word for birds, and I have a footnote here. Make sure you take advantage of those footnotes. They're going to be there on the same page. We have ave, bird, and also keep in mind what gender those words are as you learn them. So ave. So las aves llegaron, right? The birds came. Y se la comieron. They ate. They ate it. La here refers to la semilla. So they ate it up. They ate up the seed. Otra parte cayó entre las piedras. So another part fell, right? So we have this word again, cayó. Cayó, we have a repetition. We're going to see these kinds of things repeating a lot in this parable. Cayó entre las piedras, so among the stones. Donde no había mucha tierra, so where there was not much land. Or we can say there's not much soil. Esa semilla brotó pronto. Brotar is to sprout. So this seed sprouted quickly. Brotó pronto. It sprouted soon after it was planted. Porque la tierra no era muy honda. Because the land was not very deep. So the soil was not very deep. Hondo and honda. Hondo is the adjective, means deep. Pero el sol, the sun, al salir, right, upon coming out. So when the sun came out, we can say, la quemó. So it burned it. La quemó. Burned the seed. Y como no tenía raíz, and since, and here we have that word como again, just like at the beginning, since it did not have a root, and since it didn't have good roots, no tenía raíz, raíz is root, it's feminine, la raíz, se secó, it dried out. Otra parte de la semilla cayó. So here again we have cayó entre espinos, right, among thorns. Y los espinos crecieron, right, the thorns grew. Crecieron, crecer is to grow. Y la ahogaron, right, it choked it out or drowned it out. Ahogar is to drown or to choke out something. De modo que la semilla no dio grano. So, de modo que, so it means in such a way that the seed did not give any, it's like any fruit. It didn't produce anything. Pero otra parte cayó en buena tierra. But another part landed, it fell on good soil. Buena tierra. Y creció, and it grew. So here we have that word creció. It's just like here, crecieron. So really look for those patterns, guys. Look for words that repeat, because especially in these parables, you're going to have things like this. Somebody went somewhere, and then somebody else went somewhere. You know, it's like a repetition in the verbs. So use that to your advantage. Dando una buena cosecha. It's giving a good harvest. Cosecha is harvest. So we have sembrar, which is to sow, and cosechar, which is to reap or to harvest. So those go together. Algunas espigas dieron 30 granos por semilla. So some of the espigas are the heads of wheat. So they gave 30 granos, 30 grains per seed. 30 granos por semilla. So every seed yielded 30 grains. And others, otras meaning espigas, right? Those are the heads of wheat. And others, 60 grains. Y otras 100, and others 100. So they had a 30-fold, 60-fold, or 100-fold increase per seed. Y añadió Jesús. And Jesus added. Añadir is to add something, add a comment, or add an item. Los que tienen oídos, oigan. Right? Those who have ears, let them hear. Oídos here is not like orejas. Orejas is the ear on the outside that you see on the side of your head. El oído is the sense of hearing. It's the ability to hear. And it also means your inner ear. So it's basically saying here, the ones who can hear. If you have the ability to hear anything, please hear this. Okay, el porqué de las parábolas, the reason why, right? El porqué, porqué of course means why and because, so el porqué must mean the reason why. It's the reason for the parables. Okay, so después, cuando Jesús se quedó solo, los que estaban cerca de él, junto con los 12 discípulos, le preguntaron qué quería decir aquella parábola. So afterwards, when Jesus was left alone, right? So he remained alone after most people had moved off. Los que estaban cerca de él, the ones who were close to him, they were nearby, along with, junto con is along with the 12 disciples, los 12 discípulos, le preguntaron, they asked him, ¿qué quería decir aquella parábola? What that parable meant. Querer decir is to mean. You've seen this last year, right? ¿Qué quieres decir? What do you mean? Or ¿qué quiere decir? What does it mean? The literal meaning is to want to say. So when you ask somebody what they mean in Spanish, what you're really saying is, what do you want to say? So use querer and use decir. So they wanted to know. They asked him, le preguntaron, ¿qué quería decir? What did it mean? What did that parable mean? Les contestó, so he answered them. See how you have preguntaron, they asked him, and then you have the answer here. So you can see that you're anticipating, right? When somebody asks a question, you're probably going to see somebody answering the question. Les contestó, a ustedes Dios les da a conocer el secreto de su reino. So to you, God has revealed to you. Les da a conocer. He reveals to you. Right? Dar a conocer, literally to give, like knowledge, right? So he's revealing it. He's letting them know. Right? The secret of his kingdom. Reino is kingdom. Pero a los que están afuera se les dice todo por medio de parábolas. So but to those who are outside, everything is said. It's se dice todo a ellos, se les dice todo. Everything is told to them por medio de parábolas, by way of parables. Para que por más que miren, no vean. So that the more they see, the more they look, no vean, they don't see. Por más que oigan, no matter how much they hear, no entiendan, they will not understand. Para que no se vuelvan a Dios y Él no los perdone. So they do not turn to God and He does not forgive them. Jesús explica la parábola del sembrador. So here Jesus explains the parable of the sower. Les dijo, ¿no entienden ustedes esta parábola? He says to them, you do not understand this parable? ¿Cómo pues entenderán todas las demás? So how then will you understand? So this is the future tense. So they're gonna hear parables later. So how would they ever understand? Right? Todas las demás. Or this could be put another way. In the future tense in Spanish can be used like to say, I wonder. Right? So it's like saying, I wonder how you're going to understand the other ones. El que siembra means the one who sows. The verb is sembrar, right? The one who sows. The seed, la semilla, representa, he represents, al que anuncia el mensaje, the one who announces the message, meaning the good news. Hay quienes son como la semilla que cayó en el camino. Oyen el mensaje, pero después de oírlo, viene Satanás y les quita el mensaje sembrado en su corazón. So though there are those, right? So there are those people, literally there are those who, right? So there are those that are like the seed that fell on the road. They hear the message. See, you're going to see this repetition, right? La semilla que cayó, right? Like the seed that fell, because we have the road, the stones, right? The rocks, and we have the espinos, right? Espinos, and then of course the good soil. Okay, so we're gonna notice, we're gonna look for some patterns here. Look for these constructions, right? It keeps repeating itself, but it's using different locations. So the seed that fell on the road, they hear the message. See, oyen el mensaje. All of those people that he mentions hears the message, right? Look for this phrase, oyen el mensaje, and then you'll see it here. Oyen el mensaje. Oyen el mensaje. It's just, it comes up, right, over and over again. So, back over here, they hear the message, pero después de oírlo, after hearing it, viene Satanás y les quita. Satan comes and he takes away from them, right? He takes it from them. He takes the message from them. The message that had been sown in their heart, that had been planted. Otros son como las semillas sembradas entre la piedra, so others are like the seed that was sown among the rocks. Oyen el mensaje y lo reciben con gusto. Right? They hear the message and they receive it with delight, with joy, with pleasure. They're happy to receive it. But, como no tiene suficiente raíz, since they do not have a sufficient foundation, or they don't have strong roots, no se mantienen firmes. They do not hold true. They do not remain firm. They do not hold it. They do not stay. Por eso, for that reason, right? Or therefore, cuando por causa del mensaje sufren pruebas o persecución, pierden la fe. So that's why, cuando, right, when, por causa del mensaje, for the cause of the message. Okay, so you have to hold on to that. For the cause of the message, sufren. Okay, here's your verb there. They suffer, sufrir. Sufren pruebas o persecución, pierden la fe. So, because of the message, they suffer trials, right? Trials and tribulations. That's pruebas. Or persecution, persecución. Pierden. And what do? They lose their faith. Pierden la fe. Otros son como la semilla sembrada entre espinos. Others are like the seed that's planted among thorns, right? Espinos, thorns. Oyen el mensaje, pero los negocios de la vida presente les preocupan demasiado. El amor por las riquezas los engaña y quisieran poseer todas las cosas. Okay. So they hear the message, but the kind of the business of life, you might say, the business of life, of the present life, la vida presente, les preocupan. It gives them something to worry about. Les preocupan demasiado. It worries them too much. El amor por las riquezas los engaña. So the love of riches deceives them. y quisieran poseer todas las cosas. They would like to possess all things, right? It's like they're never going to be happy, right? Todo esto entra en ellos y ahoga el mensaje y no lo deja dar fruto. So all this enters into them y ahoga el mensaje. The message is drowned out, it's choked out. It's not allowed to give fruit. Pero hay otros que oyen el mensaje y los aceptan y dan una buena cosecha, como la semilla sembrada en buena tierra. Now, here we have a reversal, right, of the pattern, because up to now we've had these people are like this seed, these people like this seed. But here, for the first time, he says there are others that hear the message and accept it. Well, we don't know those people yet. It doesn't talk about it yet. Okay, what seed is it talking about? Of course, there's only one left. Dan una buena cosecha, they give a good harvest. Como la semilla sembrada en buena tierra, just like the seed sown in the good earth. So there it is, right? Como la semilla sembrada, etc., etc. So that's a repetition, but it's a little different than the last two. De esos, right, of these, algunos rinden 30, otros 60 y otros 100 por uno. So of those, some, they give, they give as a profit. 30, others 60, and others 100 to 1. So rendir is to give. Rendir, it's you can talk about that, yielding. Something yields fruit or something like that. So they yield 30, 60, and 100 times for each. Okay, that'll do part 1 of chapter 4. Gracias.